Hey there guys, Jerry here, and welcome to a video where I talk about some of the most disturbing Pokemon ever in the Pokemon world. Why Game Freak decided to make some of these Pokemon disturbing is really beyond me, since Pokemon is a franchise for children, but if you think about it, the fact that there are some disturbing Pokemon out there just adds a lot to the creepy factor, so you really can't fault them there. Before we begin today's video, I do want to say that the descriptions of these Pokemon don't come from me. They come from a website known as GameRant. I'll make sure to link their site in the description below so you guys can go and check them out yourselves if you want to. And I guess you can even call this some sort of creepypasta, because the way that this website describes these Pokemon is absolutely disturbing, and I thought that it would be perfect to share with you guys. With that being said, let's get on with today's video. Kicking things off, we have Gothita, Gothita, and Gothita. It's disturbing enough that Gothita, this Pokemon's starting form, resembles a baby that stares at something only it can see. But once it evolves into Gothita at level 32, its creep factor gets sent sky high. With hypnosis mastered, the creature steals people away at night. Whether it steals people away as offerings to the thing only it can see is impossible to know. Once the evolution to Gothita is achieved at level 41, this creature uses its psychic abilities to see the future, specifically the death of their trainer. While useful in combat, having this Pokemon in one's arsenal is just too creepy. You can always look on the bright side. If Gothita isn't hypno-kidnapping its trainer, it's probably only because it knows that death is imminent. Okay, so let me get this straight. In a children's game, we have Gothita, who enjoys kidnapping. We have Gothita, who uses its ability to see the future just to see its trainer die. So I've never really used a Gothita or a Gothita, and I'm glad I avoided them. I think someone needs to tell Game Freak that children, death, and kidnapping really don't go well together. Next on the list, we have Spoink. If you're looking for a precautious and spunky critter to keep by your side, then Spoink fits the bill. Sure, it's a little weird that the pig-headed Pokemon uses a giant pink pearl on its head to amplify its psychic abilities, but the way it hops around the spring it possesses in place of a body? Adorable. Until you learn that the springing isn't a sign of Spoink's rambunctious attitude, but required to live. That's right, if Spoink stops springing, he stops breathing. Stops doing pretty much anything really. Try to imagine what kind of paranoia results when death is just a misstep away, and it suddenly becomes easier to understand why Spoink is also a kleptomaniac, ever pursuing a bigger and better pearl. This one is honestly more sad than disturbing. It's kind of upsetting to know that if Spoink stops springing, he dies. Who knows when his misstep is gonna happen, but when it does, one thing is for sure, he's gonna die. I don't know why Game Freak allowed for this to happen. It's always the cute Pokemon that go. Kind of feel sorry for this little guy. Next up, we have Dusko. Sure, ghosts are always spooky, and it's no mystery why this Pokemon, styled after the Grim Reaper, puts us on edge. But the single glowing eye sliding back and forth between eye sockets is just the tip of the iceberg where additional eeriness is concerned. Dusko is a nocturnal Pokemon, mostly inhabiting dense forests, but isn't interested in woodland creatures, only children. This floating Pokemon is rumored to pursue kids who don't follow the rules. Why? Because it enjoys the sound of them crying. But hey, it's not all creepy. Once Dusko evolves into Dusclops, it is capable of swallowing anything into its body cavity, never to be seen again. We'll let you use your imagination. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need my imagination for this one. First up, we have Dusko, who just happens to love the crying of children. And then we have Dusclops, who has the ability to swallow anything into its body cavity, never to release it again. Seems to me like we have some nutcases over at Game Freak that just enjoy the suffering of children. As far as Dusclops is concerned, that thing gives kids nightmares. I for one wouldn't want to run into a Dusclops in a dark alley, especially if it's gonna swallow me up. God, did I really just say that? There really wasn't a better way to describe that. Dusclops is the thing that gives kids nightmares. Game Freak is messed up. Next, we have Grimer and Muck. It's disgusting enough that Grimer spends its time in polluted water, feasting on pollution and sewage to survive. But get this, Pokemon moving through the world and it will never be the same. Literally, anytime Grimer passes over the ground, its toxic slime renders the earth incapable of ever again supporting life. If that wasn't hellish enough, the slime also sprouts new Grimers to continue the catastrophe. It's not all bad though. Once Grimer evolves into Muck, it gets bigger and more poisonous, capable of rendering an entire lake toxic with a single drop, and infecting any human being if it desires. Why was the Pokemon this dangerous and unattractive created in the first place? Who knows? Maybe the developers thought that Mother Nature should be as terrorized as actual people. Holy jeez. Now that I think about it, Grimer and Muck are the walking death. As Grimer walk around, they begin to multiply. And when they evolve into Muck, they become bigger and even more poisonous, having the ability to render a lake toxic with just one drop of its poison. They can even kill a man! I know what this is, guys. Remember every time we refer to Muck as cum, just because its name backward is cum? Muck is getting back at us. Now we're paying the ultimate price. The end is here. And last, and certainly not least, we have Drowsy. We don't know if there's something about psychic type Pokemon that brings out the most troubling in the developers. But Drowsy is yet another hypnotizing critter that makes our skin crawl. The aptly named Pokemon puts its enemies to sleep, so that it may more easily feast on its dreams. While that certainly places Drowsy under the odd column among the series' more fun-loving Pokemon, it's actually based on the Japanese Baku, spirits that fed on people's nightmares. But what it loves most is the dreams of children. We don't know why, and don't want to either. In case Drowsy's powers weren't enough of an invasion of privacy, it also remembers every dream it's consumed, and shares them with those sleeping near them. How many pets can do that? Like Dusko, Drowsy just loves to mess around with children. And again, Game Freak, what's up with you guys? Are you guys against children? They are the ones who are playing your games. Don't put this stuff in your games, it just doesn't fit. Do you guys remember when I said, but what it loves most is the dreams of children? We don't know why, and don't want to either. Well, I have the answer to that question. According to the Soul Silver Pokedex description, Drowsy remembers every dream it eats, and it rarely eats the dreams of adults, because those of children's are much tastier. And now we know why Hypno is referred to as the pedophile Pokemon. Game Freak, you guys are some sick bastards, but I love your games. I do love your games, but there's only so much I can take. I'll see you guys in the outro. Hey guys, Jerry here, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the video. You guys have no idea how long it took me to make this video, roughly 7 to 8 hours. And I know that may not seem like a lot, but it is a lot, considering I just sat here on a chair on the computer working on this video. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like down below because they do help out a lot. This was my first attempt at a creepy / disturbing Pokemon video, and I think it did come out pretty well, even though my humor is terrible, my voice is boring. Go easy on me, it's my first time. But I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. I think it came out well, and I do intend on making a part 2, so if there are any other Pokemon that you think have creepy and disturbing descriptions about them, let me know in the comment below. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for me, guys. If you guys enjoyed, again, make sure to drop a like down below, and also consider subscribing to the channel because that also helps out a lot. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. My name has been Jerry. You have been awesome, and I'll see you next time.